Welcome to another CBA Level 3 Grille coaching session. This session follows directly on from the transferring of the drawing coaching session and focuses on the blown over beveled-leaf scroll. We're going to be using 3/4 inch wide by 1/4 inch thick bar, 20mm by 6mm. And we're going to forge a short taper to the end. Although it's not the length of the taper that's important here, it's more the steep angle of the taper. If you'll note from my slide here, you'll see that if I had a long weedy taper, I'm going to have a long weedy leaf. And that's not what we want. So it's the angle that makes the leaf look correct. The top of the taper doesn't have to be flat. A slight curve will help you get that leaf look, or a more natural look, should we say. You do, however, need to taper the thickness of the bar down to the tip of the leaf. Lay off as much as the bar is wide, in this case 3/4 inch or 20mm from the tip of the leaf to the offside edge, and that's the top left photograph. I want you to use a half face blow and set the shoulder down behind the leaf. I take the stock down to about half its thickness, or 3/8 inch or so, 10mm. That is obviously going to increase the thickness of the material behind the leaf, so I want you to dress that back to parent stock thickness, or 1/4 inch 6mm. At this stage, and it depends whether I remember or not, I like to tip the tip of the leaf back so that it's in the right place later. It's hard to do later, so do it now if you can remember, and don't be too tight with this. Give yourself a generous curl back. We know from our transfer of the drawing that the scroll and the water leaf are part of the same bar, welded together, just a nick fold weld. And then that assembly is going to be welded to the remainder of the scroll material coming down from the upset corners. So you can see that bottom left photograph shows our allowance there. That's what we're going to weld together. And then the bottom right shows it being welded on to the remainder of the scrolling stock. Does it matter how far that first weld is? No, not really. Just so long as it's sufficiently far away that when you go to take this second weld to the remainder of the scroll material, you're keeping the leaf out of the fire. I picked an arbitrary length of about 1.5 inches or 40mm. That length will increase obviously as you weld the two sides together, but we can look at that aspect of it when we get to the upset corners. We know from experimentation that the leaf will lengthen as we forge it. The 3-inch long leaf that we require starts as about 2 3/8 inch long section of material. We also know what the scroll measures from the tip to the weld, and we know that we have two sides of the weld at about 1.5 inches or so each. The blown over beveled-leaf scroll has a front and a back, and it is typically viewed from one side only. There are 4 scrolls within the grille, 2 left facing and 2 right facing. When you transfer the marks of the anvil to your bar, mark 2 scrolls with the step of the leaf up and 2 with the step of the leaf down. What that's going to do for you, it's going to put the center punch marks on the beveled side and the shoulder side of the leaf. Bevel side of the scroll, shoulder side of the leaf. And that center punch mark is going to be lost in the forge weld. Hopefully you've remembered to turn the tip of the leaf at this stage. I obviously forgot. But I want you to turn the end of the scroll through 90 degrees the hard way. Keep the bend tight, and I'm going to say about 1/2 inch in diameter. The other thing I want you to concentrate on is take the time to straighten the remainder of the scroll material behind the bend. Once you've got the bend to your liking, and with the center punch mark up, remember we've got 2 left, 2 right scrolls, and that's going to be the direction is dictated by the center punch mark at this stage. I want you to bevel the outside of the leaf all the way around until you meet the center punch mark. Feather the bevel out towards the sides of the bar as you work. Working on the outside now will tighten the bend of the scroll, but that's okay. Changing sides to the inside of the scroll, repeat the process. Take care to prevent dings to your anvil, etc. by working on the edge of the anvil. Working on the inside edge now should open up the bend back to its original size again. And here is our finished result, and you'll notice it's a single line going round the bend, and then it starts to bifurcate or divide and starts to work its way out towards the edge, hopefully getting to the edge at around about the center punch mark. At this stage, it's time to cut the forging from the parent bar and turn your attention to the water leaf, which is another coaching session.